we've run entire projects without having a single meeting because Slack and Notion, you can get it all done.
Hi, my name is Henry, and in this video, I'll be chatting with Jesse, who's hiring a senior PMM at Tremendous. This role is fully remote and is open to anyone who's living in the Americas. This includes all the countries in North America and South America. We'll talk about what Tremendous does, what he's looking for in a senior PMM, and how you can apply if you're interested. And make sure to watch till the very end because he'll share 3 reasons why you should apply to Tremendous. Now, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Jesse. I live in Portland, Oregon. I've got 2 kids, 2 dogs, 2 cats. So a very busy life. And my background, I spent 11 years at Google. I went through the APMM rotation program. Among other things, worked on Maps, Earth, Translate, crisis response, elections, all sorts of things. Then I was a contractor with Google for 3 years where I got to work on fun stuff like Santa Tracker and whatnot. And through twists and turns, here I am now as the director of product and brand marketing at Tremendous.
Great. And what does Tremendous do?
Tremendous is the way that businesses send bulk payments to individuals around the world. So it's not payroll, but for everything from incentives for participating in research studies to appeasements to employee bonuses. If there's ever a reason why a business needs to send money to a person, Tremendous is probably the way you could do it.
Just curious, how does Tremendous make money?
That's a really good question. So we don't generally charge fees. If you're sending $100, it costs you $100. But with the volume that we do, we get a lot of our financial stuff at discount. For example, if you send $100 and your recipient claims an Amazon card, we're paying less than $100 for that Amazon card that we give them. So there's plenty of margin on that. We also do charge a fee if you allow people to withdraw their money by PayPal, Venmo, or ACH. We add a fee on that. Otherwise, there's no way we'd make money.
Cool. Can you tell us about the open roles that you're hiring for?
Sure. So the role that I'm hiring for is Senior Product Marketing Manager. We already have 1 person in this role, and so we're looking for a second. I'm calling it like core product marketing. So what our other marketer is focusing on is sales enablement, personas, that side of the B2B SaaS stuff. What this role is going to be focused more is on launches, product positioning, documentation, that sort of thing. This year in particular, Tremendous is going to be focusing a lot on integrations and partnerships. We have an API, but we're building out more specific connections to platforms from Salesforce or whatever. If you have something that is going to have a trigger to send money, we would love for that to happen through us. And so we need a marketer to communicate both the value of that and to work with the various partners that we're going to be building connections to.
How big is the marketing team?
Within broader marketing team, we're about 8 people, and that includes growth and kind of the more brand and content side. And we're a company of 60 people. When I was hired back in January, I was number 28. So we've doubled in a year, and we're going to double again in a year, in the next year. Yep.
Nice. And then just to summarize, so it seems like the current product marketer is really focused on internal research stuff like personas and all of that. And then you're hiring a core product marketer who's going to be more focused on the external.
Part of the thing is this past year, a lot of our focus has been on like infrastructure and security and all this really important stuff to build out, but there isn't as much to market. Nobody really cares if you change from AWS to GCP. But now we're going to be doing things that we actually do need to tell the market about. So we need someone to do that.
Are there certain things that you're looking for in a product marketing candidate?
In addition to some experience in product marketing or something very similar to it, the title doesn't matter. It's more like, can you work with PMs and engineers and understand what they've got going and blend that with what we know about our customers, that core product marketing stuff. A few things that are important to us. One is ideally it's a mix. You have a mix of both big company and small company experience. We find that tends to work really well. If you've only been at a big company, it can sometimes be a bit of a learning curve to go to a smaller place where there just isn't as much process in place and whatnot. But if you've only worked at small companies, particularly for the sake of partnerships, it might be hard to grasp why things are so tough to get going with the other companies. So ideally a blend of both, but We're not super hard and fast on that. One thing that is not negotiable from Tremendous is you got to be a really good writer. Our culture is very high on documentation and low on meetings. And the way that we ensure that that happens is that everybody's first reflex is to write and to read and to comment. And if you're more of the sort of person who learns through lots of conversations and whatnot, might not be the best fit.
Love it. Less meetings, more reading and
So
writing.
in fact, most of my meetings these days are interviews. I don't have that many meetings, interviews and like one-on-ones with my team. Other than that, like we've run entire projects without having a single meeting because Slack and Notion, you can get it all done.
That's great. I think introverts would love this role.
You know, introverts and extroverts both. I am definitely an extrovert, but I find that it helps me better communicate with introverts because the written word is a more level plane in that sense.
So kind of following up on that, what's your overall management style?
My overall management style is try to hire people who are better and smarter than me and support them. Obviously, I'm going to do what I can to help them grow and learn and fill in the gaps and course correct where necessary. The best relationship is going to be where I learn at least as much from the people on my team as they learn from me. And that's very much our philosophy overall here. We tend to hire more senior. We bias toward hiring senior because our business isn't built to teach people basic skills. And we hire people who are really good and self-motivated to keep learning. So I'm going to help you maybe see around corners and learn more about our plans and things like that. But it's really up to you as the person on my team to think through where it is you want to go and ask me for help in getting there.
What's the culture at Tremendous? Can you just describe the culture working there?
Yeah, I'd say it's just the most intentional workplace I've ever worked. And part of that is we actually have a lot of writing about how we work. If you go to handbook.tremendous.com, you'll see some of the details. But I'd say our day-to-day culture it's a lot of really smart people who respect each other and are there to support each other, but mostly autonomously driving their own work. There's very few like check-ins and project updates and that sort of thing. It's more just like, all right, keep on doing what you got to do. Reach out when you need people to help. Because people aren't in that many meetings, they're generally available to help. And the only time that we try to have any sort of like social moments is when we actually get together in person. We don't do happy hour Zooms or virtual Secret Santas or anything like that. But what we do is we have 2 retreats a year where we get together from wherever we are in the world and actually spend a week together doing very little work and having a lot of fun, and then spend the other 50 weeks of the year, doing the work. And of course we have fun while we work. We can joke and we have channels that have nothing to do with our actual work and whatnot, but we're serious about our socializing. So we only socialize when we can do it really well.
Great. I love how work and play is pretty distinct. And I think it's better that way too.
And you know what? That also means most meetings, the few meetings we do have tend to end early because we're not going to just sit around and chat about our weekend. Like whatever, you can do that on Slack or not. It's your call. But when we're all together to focus on work, we're really focused. The other thing I should point out that I think is important, we are fully remote. We don't have any offices, but for almost all roles, we hire exclusively in the Americas. And that literally spans from Hawaii to Brazil because we have a few hours a day that we call our collaboration hours. So we're not fully asynchronous, we're semi-asynchronous. So there are a few hours a day when we agree essentially it's 12 to 3 Eastern time, 9 to 12 Pacific. Like this is generally the time we all try to really be around. And even if it's not live meetings, it's Slack chats and other things just happen faster because we tend to be around. That also gives you the freedom. I'm on the West Coast. And given that, like if I have a choice of when to book a doctor's appointment, I'll book it in the afternoon. So it doesn't get in the way of that time. Of course, if I have to go to the doctor during the morning, it's fine. But we try to prioritize that time together.
Can you just give a quick pitch on why should people apply to this role at Tremendous?
Sure, a couple different things. One, it's really great if you just want to do really good work and then move on. If you're far enough along in your career and confident enough in your ability to do good work, that what you just need is an environment that is supportive enough to have all the money and people to talk to and all that you could use to do it, but none of the overhead that comes with too much process. It's a really great place to be with that. As I mentioned before, if you love to write, this is a really great place to work. Not only are you given the space and even the support that it takes to write stuff really well, but you're surrounded by people who love writing too. So it's a great, really supportive environment around that. And then also, I imagine this will speak to a lot of people, it's an extremely stable environment that we're in. We don't have venture capital. We've been profitable for years, and we see no signs of that changing. We're also really diversified in terms of our clientele. So even with everything going on in tech, we're still having our best months and quarters ever, both in terms of sales and pipeline. So we know our business is growing and will continue to grow. And there's nobody in our universe right now who's going to tell us to mess it up. Like, we're in control of our destiny. We like how it's going. We're growing fast, but not too fast. So it really does feel like a best of both worlds situation in terms of growth, but stability.
Last thing is, if someone is interested in applying for this role, what's a good next step?
Reach out to me. If you're a good product marketer, you can find who I am and reach out to me. I won't give you any more hints than that, other than you know where to find me, and let's talk.
Thank you, Jesse. That's all the questions I had, and I'll make sure to post the links in the description.
Great. Thanks. This is fun.
That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment below on what kind of videos you want to see next. Till next time, see you.